Access granted.
Hey everybody, this is Ethanita from the Gamer Access, and this is our Game of the Year Awards 2014 Top 10 list. The year hasn't exactly been mind-blowing, and it started off pretty slow, but things for the most part added up to one reliable year for gamers. The amount of time we spent this year hating each other figuring out this top 10 list totaled to well over 2 hours. The honorable mention this year goes to Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, for being a superb, challenging game with wonderful music. Without further ado, here is the Gamer Access Top 10 Games of 2014. At number 10, we have Child of Light. The first thing that can be noticed with Child of Light is its art and aesthetic. It's a visually stunning game with enormous, gorgeous backgrounds and character movements to complement the scenery. The story is neat and concise, told in forcibly whimsical couplets that give the wonderful world a fairy tale vibe. The gameplay itself is simple in a world, a simple side-scroller RPG with enemies to fight at your leisure, unless you accidentally get ambushed by one. The combat is turn-based, but not in the traditional sense. Child of Light combines real-time effects with the more traditional turn-based scene that is more enjoyable and involved. It is a leisurely fairy tale experience, making it one of the most memorable and fun games to come out this year. At number 9 is Far Cry 4. Far Cry 3 made our top 10 list back in 2012 for having an amazingly fun open world to explore that produced one crazy story after another, coupled with fantastic presentation. Far Cry 4 does everything Far Cry 3 did, but better. It looks better, the world is bigger, with more activity in it, and now there is co-op. In what other game do you start an attack in enemy camp, then suddenly a wild tiger walks into the camp and starts mauling people, then it goes after you? So you start to run away, but then an enemy patrol comes by, then it's you against the patrol against the tiger. Moments like this is why Far Cry 4 is a thriller. Anything can happen at any moment. And number 8 is Dark Souls 2. Dark Souls 2 is a game that has a brutal learning curve and many will not be able to get past it. It is a game that expects the player to learn and take time or be punished. Those that do get past the learning curve are rewarded with one of the most deep, replayable, atmospheric games around. With multiple ways to play a character, multiple ways to get equipment that greatly changes the game's difficulty, different paths to take, and New Game Plus, Dark Souls 2 is a game that can be played for months and there are still things to discover. It is truly an enthusiast game. And number 7 is Mario Kart 8. The Mario Kart franchise has been around for well over 2 decades. The freshness of Mario Kart 8 was surprising. Mario Kart feels new thanks to having some of the best tracks in the entire series, gorgeous graphics, and the best online play of any Nintendo game ever. It also continues to hold the familiar competitiveness and friendship destruction the franchise is known for. Yes, battle mode is supremely lame, but even with that small issue, Mario Kart 8 is still the best entry the franchise has ever seen. And number 6 is Infamous Second Son. Infamous Second Son is the first game from this generation of consoles that felt like it could not be made on the previous generation. It is a huge, open recreation of Seattle, and it looks beautiful. There are amazing smoke and particle effects, some of the best character animation around, and the draw distance is just jaw-dropping. But Infamous Second Son isn't just a pretty face. It is coupled with a solid story and the best gameplay of the entire Infamous franchise. At number 5 is Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor. Take a human set on vengeance, give him the powers of a wraith, and now there are a lot of tools that one can use to kill the orcs that make up the army of the Black Hand. Shadow of Mordor combines a blend of Assassin's Creed and Batman to create a stealthy RPG complete with brutal executions and plenty of strategic thinking. On the presentation front, the story of the race that accompanies Talion is compelling, and there are plenty of side missions and activities to explore. Our number 4 is Persona 4 Arena Ultimax. It is no surprise Persona 4 Arena Ultimax is in our top 5. It is a game that many members of the staff have played literally every single week since it came out in September. It is that good. Arena Ultimax has a fighting system that rewards players who take time to learn the ins and outs, but it's also simple enough that a new player can jump in and still stand a chance. Add in some of the best music in all of video games, beautiful colorful graphics, and a great story, and you get a game that almost anyone can enjoy. Number 3, we have Super Smash Bros. For Wii U. Super Smash Bros. Is a game that anyone can get behind. With 30 years of nostalgia backing it, and improvements made to the core Smash Bros. Experience, this just might be the best Smash Bros. Game yet. More modes, the best roster the series has ever had, and tons of unlockables give single-player fans plenty to enjoy. Smash has always been a game that is more fun with people, and now there is 8-player chaos. And for tournament players, every stage has a competitive setup option. Super Smash Bros. Wii U has something for everyone, and players will be spending a lot of time settling it in Smash. And number 2 is Bayonetta 2. Bayonetta 2 is what you get when you take the best game of a certain genre and polish the ideas and mechanics until they are pretty much perfect. Everything about Bayonetta 2 is just right. The pacing refuses to let the game get boring. The jaw-dropping set pieces give tons of wow moments. The combat system is deep and flexible with multiple ways to play the game, and the catchy music has you humming along every time you play. In addition, it is a game that can be played multiple times to improve those high scores and earn more unlockables. Bayonetta 2 is nearly impossible to put down and has one of the best characters action games have ever made.
You think I'm responsible? Explain this. I can't. What do you mean you can't?
I don't know what that is, or how it got there.
You're lying!
The game of the year is Dragon Age Inquisition. It is a beautiful game. Ferelden and Orlais are sights to behold, and even the harshest of desert environments are screenshot worthy. Every region traversed is full of wildlife, dragons, quests, and the flames of a civil war. While exploring these areas, the player experiences the dialogue between party members. These conversations add extra personality to each character and are sometimes hilarious. BioWare did their best to fully engulf the player in the world of Dragon Age, and they succeeded in every instance. The world is complemented by a fantastic story that is affected by every single decision the player makes. Combat has been revamped and is a very nice mix of Dragon Age Origins and Dragon Age 2. For those seeking the cooperative experience, the solid multiplayer is very similar to Mass Effect 3. All of the attributes of this game makes Dragon Age Inquisition the Gamer Access's 2014 Game of the Year.